What's up, guys? Andrew's Crib coming at you guys today with another video. So today's video is going to be the original versus remake tag. This is a tag that came out a few weeks back, and I was actually just recently tagged by Andrew Bellina, my good buddy. He was a little late to the tag too, I believe, but funny enough, I actually did this tag a few weeks back. I wrote down my answers. I wasn't tagged by anyone. I was just thinking about just doing the video, but then I got sick and I never got to it. So I actually already had this done, and I figured now's a good chance, since he did tag me, to go ahead and do this. So just before I get started, guys, just know this is my personal opinion. That's the whole point of these tags. I know some people are not going to agree with a lot of the answers I have, and it's also true that maybe some of my answers might change over time. I was going to originally pull out all of the movies and show you the original versus the remake, but there's like 30 something movies on here, so I'm not going to do that, but I'll definitely go down the list and talk about the titles and all that good stuff. So number one here is the Amityville Horror. For me, I actually do like the remake. It's a good film, but I do think I prefer the original. I know it's a little bit slower. It's definitely older and a little dated, but as a child, I remember watching that movie, and it did scare me quite often, and it just kind of always stuck in my head. So I have to go with the original on it. I've always really loved the original, but I know that I do enjoy the remake as well. Number two is Black Christmas. This is a tough one for me. I absolutely love the original. It's definitely old school, classic. Watch it every year, but I actually am a really big fan of the remake. I just think it's really entertaining. It's a fun watch. And the way I guess I decided my answer on this one was I decided based on which one I watch more often. So I'm going to go with the remake on this one. It might be surprising to some people. I do love them both, though. I'm not saying the one's better than the other. It's just typically during the Christmas season, I'll watch both, but I sometimes watch the remake a second to third time during that time. Just a personal preference. Number three is Dawn of the Dead. I actually, another one of the movies where I really enjoy the remake. I think it was well done, and it's very entertaining and good, but I prefer the original Dawn of the Dead. Just something about the tone, I really dug it. You know, I've seen all the different cuts of the film, between the Argento's cut and the George Romero's cut and all the other different cuts, and I really love the original film, and I think it's always going to be, the original is going to be my favorite on that one. Number four is Evil Dead. This one was a no-brainer for me. I have to go with the original. I do enjoy the remake, but I have to, just Bruce Campbell playing Ash, it doesn't get better than that, so the original for sure. Number five, The Fog. I'm going to have to go with the original on that one. That's kind of a no-brainer. Number six, Friday the 13th, and this is part 1 through 3 versus the 2009, I think it was 2009, 2007, 2009, whichever one, remake. This is tough as well, because I love part 2 and 3 of Friday the 13th, but I really enjoy the remake. I think it's very well done, very entertaining. I actually revisit that quite often, so I think I'm going to go with the remake on this one. I know some people are not going to agree with that, but that's the whole point of this. So yeah, Friday the 13th, I'm going to go with the remake. Number seven, Fright Night, another no-brainer, original all the way. I mean, I don't mind the new one. It's not a favorite of mine, but I love the original. Number eight, Halloween. Also kind of a no-brainer. Got to go with the original. I am a big fan of Rob Zombie's remake. I don't know, a lot of people are not. I actually do watch. Sorry about that, guys. I got another phone call, so I interrupted this video. But back to what I was saying about Halloween. So I do enjoy Rob Zombie's remake a lot, but I do prefer the original to the remake. Number 9 here is The Hills Have Eyes. I would have to go with the remake on this one. I do enjoy the original, but I do watch the remake more often, and I just think it's a little bit more violent and intense, and just a little bit more entertaining. Number 10, The Hitcher, and this one I can't have an answer for, because I've actually never seen the original or the remake. surprisingly. I know it's been one on my list for forever, but just never purchased it, never watched it, none of that. So eventually one day. Number 11 is House of Wax. The original is fantastic, or I mean, technically, that one's a remake as well from the original, the one with Vincent Price. But I have to go with the remake. I absolutely love the remake. Actually, I think it's a great film, super entertaining. The kills are awesome. Plus, we get to see Paris Hilton get killed, which is just fantastic. Number 12, House on Haunted Hill. Well, I just talked about this in my previous video. Although I do love the original, I have to go with the remake. A lot of people don't care for the remake much, but I am a big fan. I enjoy it. Number 13, I Spit on Your Grave. It's been forever since I've seen the original, many years, but I do remember the remake a little bit more, and I would say probably the remake in this case, just because it's been so long since I've seen the original. I'd have to really pin them back to back to see which one I'd prefer. I'm not really a big fan of I Spit on Your Grave. That's why, you know, like I don't really care much about the original or the remake. They're not really my favorite films, but I have seen them. Number 14, Last House on the Left. Definitely the original for this one for me. Big fan of Wes Craven, and I absolutely love the original. I'm not a huge fan of the remake, but overall, the original on that one. Number 15, My Bloody Valentine. This is kind of a close one because the original is absolutely fantastic. It's a movie I loved watching growing up, but I think the remake as well on this guy, just because I remember seeing it in theaters a few times. I saw it in 3D, and I watch it every Valentine's Day. I try to watch the original, but I definitely prefer the remake. Number 16, Night of the Living Dead. I have to go with the original on this one. Number 17, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's obviously a no-brainer. Got to go with the original. I actually just recently revisited the remake, and I want to like it, but I'm just really not a huge fan of it. Not that the story's that bad or that the kills or anything, but it's just, I really can't stand the guy that plays Freddy. I really don't think anyone could replace him. You know, Robert Englund is definitely always going to be Freddy Krueger to me, and I know, like, it's not even that the makeup's that bad, it's more so you could tell it's just not him, and I don't like it. Number 18, The Omen. I have to go with the original on that one. Another movie I'm not, like, a huge fan of. I've seen them both, but I do prefer the original. 19, The Poltergeist. Original, again, did not like the remake at all, actually, so definitely going to go with the original on that one. Number 20, Psycho. I have the remake. I've never seen it, I don't believe, so I'm going to go with the original on this one. Number 21, Stepfather. I've never seen the remake, don't own it, but I've seen the original, and I do like the original. Texas Chainsaw. This is another one that might be surprising to people. I think I prefer the remake to the original. I love the original, it's a classic, don't get me wrong. It's in the end, it's probably a better film, but I just think that the remake was more entertaining, just with a newer take on the film. I just quite enjoyed it quite a bit. Number 23, When a Stranger Calls. I've never seen the original. I've only seen the remake, so I wouldn't go with remake, but then again, I'm also still not really a big fan of that film. 24 is Carrie. Gonna go with the original. We actually just watched the remake the other night, and I do like the remake. It's a good film. I think you know, Chloe, I don't remember her last name, the girl that plays Carrie, does a good job, and the lady that plays her mom is absolutely fantastic in the film. But I think I'm gonna go with the original. But personally, I'm actually really not a big fan of Carrie either. I mean, it's a movie I watch every once in a while, but it's not like on my top 10 list or anything like that. 25, The Fly. Never seen the original. It's been a really long time since I've seen the remake, but I'm gonna go with the remake on this one just because I remember that one a little bit more, just because I've never seen the original. 26, Prom Night. Gonna go with the original on that one. I've seen the remake, but I've only seen it once, and it's been a couple of years, so I don't really quite remember it. 27 It. This is kind of tough as well. I think the remake was really well done, but kind of in the sense of how I said about Amity Village is when I was a kid growing up watching the original, it always terrified me more than the newer one. I know the original has its boring scenes compared to the new one, but I think I prefer the original with Tim Curry. It just I love it. I love the remake too, though. Don't get me wrong. And then I think I actually added a few movies to this, maybe. I don't remember how many there were, but I think there was 28 questions, and I think I added the last two, but I could be wrong. But number 28 is The Mummy. I'm gonna go with the remake with Brendan Fraser. I actually do like that series, that trilogy, quite a bit. I think it's really good. I've seen half of the new one with Tom Cruise, the other remake, but I never finished it. I know it got a lot of backlash and it kind of flopped, but from what I saw, I thought it was pretty entertaining. I think so. Like I said, I think there was only 28 questions. I think I added the last two, which is number 29 and 30, The Thing. Got to go with the original on that one, and then number 30 I did was Piranha, which I actually prefer the remake on that one. So that's about it, guys, for this video. I'll have to double check. Like I said, I think I added those last two on there just because I think that they deserve to be mentioned. But thank you guys for watching. This is my tag response, and thank you, Andrew, for tagging me. I'm gonna leave it open because I know, like I said, this tag's been around for a while, so I have no idea who's done it. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it open for anyone else that would like to do it. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.